Luis says Jimmy should have been up front and told the team he was done for the year. The team wouldn't have kept him on the active roster if they knew. Bingo. This is what I wanted to get to.
They played themselves.
This Jimmy front.
They played
the
themselves.
Niners had a problem at the end of the year. That problem's name was Javon Kinlaw. I know you don't want to get into Kinlaw.
That's okay.
But he's played
a professional athlete
at the end of the year. But they had no other option as an anchoring, big-bodied tackle. But if they had promoted Hassan Ridgeway back off the IR, they would have, and they chose Jimmy over Ridgeway, or at least to have the possibility. So they kept Jimmy on the roster. They could have kept Ridgeway on the roster. Ultimately, the Jimmy move probably left them hanging and clearly pissed off Shanahan. I don't care what anybody tells me. To me, he seemed angry at Jimmy. Shanahan's not that angry of a guy.
I agree. But all I'm saying, look, I sit down in the press room. I sit next to Josh Dubow. He's been covering the league forever. He's AP. You know Josh.
Yeah.
So when it happened, I was like, hey, Josh, do you think Jimmy Garoppolo's coming back this year? He just laughed. Like, no, absolutely not. So I agreed with Josh. Josh never wavered. Josh is always right. And Kyle should have asked Josh. He could have told him. He's not coming back. He didn't even have to talk to Jimmy. He's not coming back. It would have been stupid. Stupid. Now, I know that Kyle Shanahan thought it was going to happen, but you should have talked to Josh. Josh could have told you.
I'm pissed at myself because there were many opportunities for me to ask Kyle that question over all those pressers, for all of us to ask that question. What's the status of Jimmy? Is Jimmy coming back? Why is Jimmy not coming back? What's the timeline? I feel like we should have pressed him on that information, but everybody was so caught up with the great story of Brock and knew that Brock was going to play instead of Jimmy.
And not anticipating Brock getting hurt. Yeah.
Right. So it was like, well, it's not, if Brock had been worse than Jimmy, then it would have been a lot more discussion of when's Jimmy coming back. But then once Brock was better than Jimmy, it was like, I don't know about Brock, and let's not even ask,
But hold on.
I don't know about Jimmy, and let's not ask.
It didn't really matter what they said about Jimmy. By not putting Jimmy on IR, that said it all.
Right.
That said it all. You're not on IR. They're hoping you can come back. That's it. And you didn't. So that's all you need to know. If they thought he was done, they would have put him on IR.
I mean, how do you think that? I mean, the season's over, so we don't have the ability to go in that locker room and ask guys. But I get the feeling if we had, there would be some guys who would give us the very PC answer, and then some guys would be honest. How do you think, since we're never really going to know, we're just speculating, how do you think the rank and file 49er player feels about Jimmy shutting it down, prioritizing his own free agency over their chance to win a ring?
I'm sure some people don't like it, and some people are on his side. Yeah. I'm sure he has a lot of friends on that team that probably overly empathize with him. So I guess it's split. But I want to say one thing. Tom Jensen in your chat says that Kyle tries to wish things into being. This is why I'm a little concerned about this Purdy thing. So let's go back. Kyle wanted Jimmy Garoppolo to be the emergency third quarterback. He was wishing and hoping to the point where he expected it to happen. And I'm sitting there being like, it's not going to happen. It doesn't happen. He was a little bit disconnected from reality, in my opinion, on this. This was predictable. Now he's saying, well, Brock Purdy's going to be ready week 1. Do you know that, or are you hoping that? Are you wishing that? And with Kyle, it's like he gets those blurred a little bit. What you expect and what you hope. Sometimes with Kyle, it's almost like he thinks he can speak it into existence. Man, you got to be careful. What if Jimmy's not ready? What's the plan? Oh, the plan is to hand it off every time in the second half. Oh, okay, you know what I'm saying? So I'm with Tom on this one.
Yeah,
he tends to wish things into being.
I think he makes a good point.